Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we left off during our free day. We're going to do some side quests today. First we're gonna start by doing the substitute teacher quest. We're going to teach Emal about orbital technology. I just read up on the topic and I'm ready to teach him the very basics. Not particularly much more, but the very basics are gonna be done. And we'll do the very basics. Emal, are you ready to do the very basics? Let's first talk to Emal. Client said he won't be able to make it today. I wonder what his substitute will be like. Isn't he a substitute himself? Excuse me, I was sent here by a second-year student called Klein. Oh, you must be the one filling in for him. How thoughtful of him to find a replacement. Are you free to tutor Emal now? Accept her request. Yeah, of course. Oh, thank you. I'll take you to his room then. Which is actually more like a laugh, but that's okay. Well, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Rean Schwarzer, a first year and a member of Class 7. Nice to meet you. Likewise. So, what do you say we get started? We'll be going over orbital science today, correct? That's right. I've already got my textbook ready. Page 40, huh? So we'll be focusing more on the historical side of things. Indeed, for the record, Klein and I covered up to the beginnings of the orbital revolution last time. It really deserves to be called a revolution for changing everyone's lives so much and so quickly. I'm sure you know the answer, but let me ask to refresh myself. How long ago did the orbital revolution take place? Roughly 50 years ago. Starting with an easy one, I see. It started about 50 years ago. Heh, you make it sound like common knowledge. I should have expected you to be smart since you are a Thors student. I wouldn't go that far. To follow up, do you know who invented ordnance? Epstein. That would be Professor C. Epstein. Speaking of which, it was in the year 1155, just a year after his death, that the Epstein Foundation was formed by his skilled disciples. Oh, wow, I didn't expect to hear all that. You really are amazing. That's not true. The way I explained things probably made them even harder to understand. Either way, I think today's plan is to go over these topics as a refresher first. And after that, we'll try and cover everything up until the year 1170 of the Zeptian calendar. Sounds good to me. Woo, baby. Nice book title. And that's about it. Did you manage to get all that? Yeah, I should be good to go. I have to admit, I am surprised. It is hard to believe that a company as massive as Rainford used to be just a single factory. It really is. The orbital revolution brought about big changes just about everywhere, but it's safe to say that the Rainford factory's transformation into such a huge corporation is one of the biggest ones. It certainly ended up having a major impact on Zemuria, so I'd have to agree. Speaking of which, I wanted to ask, what was it that the Rainford factory specialized in making? This book doesn't really mention that. Well, of course it was weapons. They specialize in making weapons such as guns and artillery. The factory's been around for a long time. I've even heard that it was around back in the Middle Ages. That's fascinating. Thanks for letting me know. I'm impressed at just how knowledgeable you are. I'm just doing my job. Seems like today's session is over. Are you okay with leaving off here for the day? This is a good stopping point, so yes, it was a pleasure to have you as a tutor today. Thank you for covering for Klein. Emal seems to have learned a lot today. He's a great teacher. In fact, I'd even put him on the same level as Klein. I'm honored. I'm glad to see he's happy. Well then, I'll have to give you something. 2,000 Mira. Thank you. Wait, Mira? I can't just take this. Why not? People normally get paid for their work? Well, I guess. I didn't really feel like work. It didn't really feel like work to me. I guess it would be rude to refuse it, though. Well, if you insist, thank you very much. You're welcome. I'm very grateful you filled in for Klein.
Quest substitute tutor completed.
With a perfect score nonetheless. Nice. Okay, that was really easy. I wouldn't have actually had to read up on that. That was not necessary. Oh well, next up is Keynes' bookstore. Welcome, feel free to browse at your leisure. Pardon me, but you sent a request to the council, to student council, didn't you? Ah, we certainly did, and I'm guessing this means you're taking care of it. Wonderful. Another Woo Baby book. Yep, you said you needed help with delivering some books to the Academy's instructors. Correct. I usually handle it myself, so I'm sorry to put that work on you today. If you don't mind me asking, is there a reason you need someone else to do this? Shamefully enough, yes, I lost the order sheet I received from the Academy, so now I'm not sure who I should deliver each book to. That's when I decided that it would be best to ask one of you students instead. You're more familiar with your instructors than I am, so you might be able to deduce who ordered what. So that's why you put the request in with the student council. Exactly. I actually hire a part-timer who's a student at Thors. I had planned on asking her first, but she's working somewhere else today, so the student council was my only recourse. Now it all makes sense. So, are you free at the moment? I'd like to get them delivered as soon as possible. Of course. Sure, I'll take these off of your hands. Great, here you go. You'll have 5 books to deliver. They make for a heavy load, so be careful carrying them. Behind the War of the Lions. Modern art took the complete works. Topical science. Topical? Analyzing macroeconomics. The Empire's hottest spots. Oomph. You weren't kidding about the weight. Did anyone order multiple books? Don't worry, just 1 per person. So 5 deliveries, 5 people, 5 books. Seems simple enough. These are all different enough that I should be able to figure out which instructor ordered each one. I'll get started right away. I'm sure you'll do a great job. Book delivery started. I'll leave the book deliveries to you. They aren't exactly light, so be careful. What do you got? The new issue? Archery. The art of napping. Manly munchies. Sandwiches. Use it to learn a recipe. 500 bucks. F me, dude. F me. Behind the War of the Lines. That might go to Neidhard or Neidhard. Modern art, the complete works. Might go to the teacher who oversees arts. Tropical science. I have no idea. Analyzing macroeconomics could go to Heinrich. The Empire's hottest spots. No effing clue. Manly munchies. Within the book is a recipe you've never seen before. Obtain the recipe for tomato sandwich. Traditional archery. The archery tips in this book are really easy to understand. I should share them with Eliza sometime. 50 experience. The art of napping. This book goes into surprising detail on how to have a really refreshing nap. Seems like the book Fee would want to read. I should tell her about it. Man, I need one like this. I like napping too. As for the teachers, I probably have to choose the right book, don't I? Gonna be rough. Faceplates, hate those. Let's see how this goes. Let's start off with an easy one. The War of the Lions. I don't think Instructor Sarah ordered any book. You wouldn't be privy to Instructor Veilstein's whereabouts, would you? Her combat studies are scheduled for the same time as my military science lessons, and I've been trying to resolve that. Brr, brr, brr. I went through that already. You don't get a book, huh? Vice Principal Heinrich. You're that Rean Schwarzer from Instructor Veilstein's class? What brings you to me? May I have a minute of your time? I'm pretty sure he teaches the political and economics class. That should mean... Do you know this book by any chance? Rean showed Vice Principal Heinrich the copy of Analyzing Macroeconomics. As it just so happens, that's the very book I ordered from the bookstore, but why do you have it? Wait, don't tell me Veilstein's corrupted you into a petty thief? You're both stealing Academy deliveries, aren't you? Oh, hold on, let me explain. Rean carefully calmed Vice Principal Heinrich down, explaining the situation and handed over Analyzing Macroeconomics. I see, allow me to apologize for doubting you so readily and so vehemently. But that raises another question. Your father is a baron, is he not? Then why, pray tell, would someone of such worthy blood perform such menial tasks? What exactly are you asking me? I don't mean to deny the work ethic of the importance of the student council, but nobles have their rules and commoners have theirs. I would just like you to keep that in mind. I see. What's more, you could very well have a bright future. Try not to let Instructor Veilstein's influence stain it too much. This is all. You may take your leave. Thank you for your time. He must be gunning for the title of Thors' most punchable faculty member. That was a dick move. And I'm not the one who ends up having to decide which title to give to whom. That would have been an interesting twist to the situation. Now it's just find the right teacher. And since he's so well hidden up here, he's gonna get a book. Ah, hey, Rean, right? What do you need? Just a moment of your time, if you can spare it. Instructor Makarov teaches natural sciences and orbital engineering, so this one might be just his. Did you order this from the bookstore recently? Rean showed Instructor Makarov the title Topical Science. Yeah, I've got a subscription to that magazine through the bookstore, but what are you doing with it? Well, it's like this. What are you doing with it? Rean explained the situation to Instructor Makarov and handed over Topical Sciences. Well, that would do it, thanks. Between schoolwork and doing favors for the student council, you must be one busy guy. I won't deny that. Changing the subject for a minute, mind if I ask what you're doing up here? Evading all of my teacherly responsibilities, couldn't you tell? Right, how silly of me. There are some things you shouldn't say in front of your hard-working students. It's cool though, I'm doing just enough work to keep me from being fired. You should try it out sometime, no offense, but I think you work too hard. Today's your free day, so you should use it to relax a bit. All that hard work will catch up to you if you don't. That's a good point. Wow, I wouldn't have expected that out of him. I guess he does care about his students in his own way. Anyway, thanks for bringing me my magazine. Catch you later. Right, thank you for your time. That's done. Now is arts. Or not arts, but art. Why, hello there. Did you have a question for me? I do. Do you have a moment? Instructor Mary teaches both the arts and home economics, so this should be hers. Did you order this book recently? Rean showed Instructor Mary the copy of Modern Art, the Complete Works. Oh yes, I did! But is there a reason you have it? Funny you should ask, it's quite the story. Rean explained the situation to Instructor Mary and handed it over. I see, that's very diligent of you. Not at all, I'm just doing what was asked of me. Oh, come now, no need to be so humble. I should have said this earlier, but thank you for going out of your way to bring this directly to me. I'm sure this book will increase the quality of my lessons dramatically. You've made my students very happy. That's very flattering. I'm not sure. One might be able to... I might be able to give this one to Principal Van Dyck. Because if I'm not, I'll have to go back to Sarah, and I don't want to. No, not happening. Well, let's go say hi to Tomas first. And she was outside. Yep, she was outside. What am I doing in here? What am I doing with my life? So honestly, he should get the War of the Lions, but why would he not? He's like a weirdo. I would give him the hottest spots in Erebonia. If it isn't Rean, how may I help you today? You're here to talk history. I'm sure I can set aside a few hours for my day for an engaging little chat. No, not today, thanks. Instructor Tomas is in charge of history and literature. It's not hard to tell why he has picked the former either. I'm just here to ask whether you ordered this book from the bookstore recently. Rean showed Instructor Tomas Behind the War of the Lions. Oh, you have my Behind the War of the Lions. Wait, why do you have my Behind the War of the Lions? Well, it's a long story. Rean explained the situation to Instructor Tomas and handed over Brr. I see, it all makes sense now. Thank you for going out of your way to hand deliver this to me. It was no trouble at all. By the way, this book provides an in-depth look at several of the mysteries surrounding the War of the Lions. Though I suppose you probably figured that much out from the title. I had intended on recovering these mysteries in class too, but I would be more than happy to lend it to you if the premise catches your interest. I'll let you know if I ever find the time. The time has not been found. Alright, I'll go back to Sarah. Since Mr. Military Man is not interested in the hottest spots, I'll have to take a guess and say Sarah wants that. Because I don't know of many more instructors. In fact, I know Sarah's most likely to be into that sort of thing. Alright, Sarah. You up for this? Hey, Rean, what's up? Huh? Oh boy, looks like she's still drinking. I get the feeling that one odd magazine in the pile is probably hers. You wouldn't happen to know what this is, would you? Rean showed Instructor Sarah the Empire's hottest spots. Yeah, that's the magazine I used the Academy's money to buy. I didn't think you read it too. Let's not jump to conclusions now. Looks like I was right on the market. Right on the mark. The truth is... Rean explained the situation to Instructor Sarah and handed over the Empire's hottest spots. Thanks! That explains it though. Sounds like your work for the Student Council is very varied, if nothing else. Well, might as well have a little look at it now. She might be the most carefree person I've ever met. That's a magazine for people looking to tour the Empire, isn't it? That seems like something you should be buying with your own money, not the Academy's is. It's for your field studies. What? I'm reading this so I can research potential field study locations. Yet here you are, assuming I'm using it to plan a sneaky little holiday for myself. That's pretty rude, you know. I see. That certainly does sound plausible. She might not seem like it sometimes, but it does seem as though she's always looking out for us. Ah, the booze here looks pretty good. First it tells me about Celdix's beer, now this. Gotta appreciate a magazine that covers an adult's needs. I take it all back. The only person she's thinking about here is herself. Right, that's all 5 of them delivered. Let's head back and report to Caney's. You know, question. How do these bottles fit in that box with a, you know, lid looking like that? Seriously. Did you receive, like, from the size of these bottles? You can also not put them aside. Like, there's no way those bottles fit in that box. No way. What the heck, dude? Well, if it isn't the Rean Bean machine, dutifully roaming the campus as always. I feel like I'm wasting my breath pointing this out, but you do know it's the middle of the day, right? You got a problem with me spending my afternoon drinking? It's my room and my beer. I'm not seeing the problem here. Looks like she's already plastered. Knowing her, she's probably ready to leap into action if anything serious were to come up, though. This might be a good chance to ask her about some things I normally couldn't, though. Yep. Hey! Don't you just stand there like you've got nothing to do. You're a student, so come sit here and keep me company. I don't see how that has any relation to me being a student. Oh, well, I guess this is as good a chance as any. I'll go get myself something to drink. Ah, be a dear and get me something to snack on while you're out, would you? Fine. Looks like you've been working pretty hard for the student council. That's what I like to see. Building up experience and making memories is exactly what youth is all about. I don't want to hear it. Not from the person that pushed me into it in the first place anyway. Especially since I've had a lot on my mind lately regardless. So, this is about Magias, huh? Was it that obvious? Well, you don't exactly have a poker face. Have you figured out a way to make up with him yet? I wish. If I'd been completely honest with him to begin with, none of this would have happened. So it's all my fault, but still... I remember when I had such simple, youthful worries. That's one way to brush me off. Well, the way I see it, your best bet would be just focusing on helping the student council out for today. Helping other people out with their worries helps you develop as a person and figure out how to take care of your own. Really? Of course, you need to take each and every request seriously and not just see them as boxes on the checklist. Listen carefully to what a client says, and figuring out what they really want from that is a key part of the job. After all, people tend not to say what's really on their mind. You have to listen for it. What's with that look? I'm just surprised that you gave such a helpful, on-point reply. Can I ask what you did before you became an instructor? Well... let's just put it this way. I've got a lot of experience. More than enough to give you youngings helpful advice whenever you need it. Okay, she might have been in a military unit, or she might have been a bracer. A high-ranking one at that. Why would a bracer start teaching at an academy? I don't know. She's almost certainly associated with Cassius Bright as well. He did come over to Erebonia for a while to help out here with an incident. I might have... We don't know all the connections yet. That would be more credible if you weren't completely drunk. Lucid enough to dodge the question, though. Either way, I'm your homeroom teacher. I'll always help you out if you'd really need me. For now, though, just focus on what you've got to do. I suppose you're right. Well, it's not every day she gives good advice. I might as well take it while I can and focus on helping out the student council. Sarah took a swig of the beer sitting on the table. Ah, that's the stuff! I can't take her advice, right? Your bond with Instructor Sarah strengthened. Just focus on helping the student council today? Yeah, good luck with your foray into the old schoolhouse, too. Alright. Let's turn in that book quest. Who did I have? Here it is. I could also spend time with Emma. So it's Emma or Gaius. I forgot about Emma. Emma or... Yeah, Emma or Gaius. Arts or books? That's tough. That's tough. That is damn tough. I am also able to keep this bonding point for the evening. Only one, though. It looks like you've made all your deliveries. What a boon you've been. Thank you. Always happy to be a boon. Here, I want to give you something as a token of my gratitude. They may come in handy at some point. Ground bait 3. I think they will. Much appreciated. Again, I cannot overstate how thankful I am. You'll be the first one I call if I ever need a hand again. I'm always willing to help. See you later. Book delivery completed. I need to make sure I don't lose anything that important ever again. How is a father supposed to teach his son if he's still making silly mistakes himself? We're bonding with Gaius right now. I get the most effect out of that because I can take Gaius with me and Emma not yet. That's gonna have to wait for another field study. Eric, are you deliberately ignoring the fast travel feature of this game? The answer is yes. Alright, let's enter the arts room though. Arts room, that's domestic science. Domestic, yes, okay, good. This is arts. Gaius, tell me something about painting. I always wanted to know this. Ah, hello, Rean. Sorry, did I interrupt you? Nah, it's alright. Clara instructed me to do some designs, so I've been spending the day working on those. I felt a bit tired after finishing a couple of them though, so I'm just taking a break for now. Sounds like you've been working hard at least. I kind of want to see what he's like when he's drawing. Sure. Would it be okay if I stayed a while and watched you draw, Gaius? Fine by me. If you've got any good advice, I'm all ears too. Wow, that's quite the elaborate drawing. Compliments like that make me feel like I'm improving. But don't hold back if you have any criticisms to make. Got it. Even though I think this looks pretty great already. You used to draw back home, right? Yeah, I taught myself by painting landscapes and, well, mostly landscapes. But Clara, the head of the club, wasn't too thrilled to hear that. How so? According to her, I draw purely by feel, without even the most basic artistic techniques. She told me to take what I see and make it my own, so I've been doing rough sketches like this since last month. In fact, I just finished my 100th sketch. That's a lot. I don't know if I have the patience to sit down and do that many sketches. Isn't it kind of a pain? It's not that bad. It helps that Clara's words resonated with me. That's why what I'm doing with my time in the Empire after all. I'm taking what I see and making it my own. Now it seems like it might be a good time to ask, where are you from? I suppose I never did mention that, did I? I'm from the Nord Highlands to the north of the Empire. Hold on, that's where Emperor Draco's raised his army. All this time you were learning about Nord, all this time we were learning about Nord in class and you were from there? Well, you know, I do plan on telling the rest of the class eventually. Come to think of it, I don't know why Gaius came to Thors in the first place. Hopefully I'll get the chance to ask him sometime. Is something wrong? Nah, sorry, just spacing out. I'd really like to see your painting when it's done. If it turns into a painting worth seeing, I'll be sure to show you. Your bond with Gaius strengthened. Level up. Rean and Gaius link level 2 reached. I'm thinking up a theme to base a future painting on. I'm not sure what exactly it will be though. Don't have too much set yet. Sounds interesting. Alright. That does it for the bonding event parts. I think we're done with all of that, so we're able to enter the old schoolhouse now. With 4 people. Or 5 people. And we'll have 1 to switch out. I hope Laura comes with us. I do hope so. But before we enter the old schoolhouse building, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I hope I'll see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, toodles!